right now, this building... As you approach the blacksmith, you hear him angrily mumbling to his anvil.
I swear on my name, one day he'll pay. Oh, it doesn't matter. Not at this point. Now I'm here and happy. It's just an old habit of mine.
His eyes say otherwise. Something is clearly on his mind.
It really doesn't matter. What matters is that you've invited me to your village, and I can now hammer away in peace and safety. You're not giving up, are you? Fine, fine. I'll tell you. I really loved me village and me people. When the army marched through our lands, I thought the All-Mother herself had blessed me. I got a contract to forge soldiers' weapons, but something went wrong. The weapons weakened instead of getting harder. So the army blacksmith accused me of treason. They didn't hang me because my people demanded a fair trial. But there was no time for one, so the army burned down me workshop and told me to leave. I had no choice. It was that or the noose. This anvil is the one thing that survived the fire. No, I don't care about that. It was so long ago. It's just a habit of mine. Whenever I work on weapons, I like to get angry. And then I force myself to care. And you get the gist. My only regret from those days is that I didn't get the chance to say goodbye to me beloved Silence.
He quickly realizes that a question is forming in your mind.
Silence.
His eyes sparkle as he starts to tell the tale.
She was the most beautiful person I have ever met. We would only meet at night, near the water. She didn't speak, true, but we understood each other very well. I miss her every day. So please, forget what I told you considering the other blacksmith and all that treason. It really doesn't bother me anymore. But Silence, if you ever meet her, please tell her I'm here. If she wants to join us, I promise I'll take care of her. I'd be glad to have someone to talk to besides me anvil.
weird candle combines with the milestone's faint radiance, the surrounding darkness is pushed even further back. Could a lively tavern in the middle of nowhere be anything more than a weirdness-bloomed mirage? Even if the building is real, who would dare to party in such a place at such a time? It wasn't a particularly good night. The weird sounds coming from below woke you up more times than you could count. After leaving your room, you're a bit surprised that everyone's still having the same conversations as the night before. There's a man saying the same farewells he said before, another one falling under the table the same way as yesterday, to the same laugh of his friends. Then you see a man sitting in a darkened corner of the tavern. He's playing cards, alone, and his deck doesn't resemble one you've ever seen.
You're the first new face I've seen in quite a while. You're already figuring out what's going on here, aren't you? A spell? No, I'm no wizard. Just an old crook. And somehow this is the last moment these people, myself included, lived through, before our village was consumed. But it seems like I'm the only one who understands what's happening here. The rest, they're stuck. And they've been stuck for years, it feels like. See for yourself.
He pauses his solitaire game for a moment, and you notice the reality around you slowly changing. People start moving slower. Their skin loses color. Some even show clear signs of decomposition. He starts playing his game again. Everything immediately gets back to normal.
It seems like a reasonable alternative to killing all of my friends, don't you think? You're a warrior. I'm sure you've seen your share of horrors out there. Tell me, will me friends end up like all those beasts, twisted by the weirdness? Am I going to end up like that? I understand, and I suppose that's more than I can ask for. At least I die knowing that I won't hurt any innocent people after I've turned. Farewell, then.
You watch the same scene unfolding again. People losing color, shriveling into corpses, but not stopping in their tracks, until all that remains is dried blood and bones scattered on the ground. The place is empty, silent, and dark. As you start walking towards the doors, you hear a voice behind you.
Look, I need to tell you, I didn't expect that.
Before you have a chance to say anything, the ghost continues.
No, this feels good. I haven't been this full of energy and life since, like, ever. That's a good joke, if I ever heard one. But you know what's best? I can see more now than I ever did. One thing I know, for example, is that you have a village you call your own, near a nice, warm inn here, right? And I happen to know that according to the plan of the powers that be, you do have a special place in there, just for little old me. No worries, I'll settle in no time. See you there.
see a ruined market cart by the side of the road. A man is desperately trying to arrange his wares on whichever surface of the cart is flat enough to hold them. As you approach him, he immediately announces,
My lord, I'm sorry. That's all I can give you this week.
"Who does he take you for?" The man looks confused, but who would argue with such a turn of events? He pockets the coins quickly.
Oh, I must have mistaken you for somebody else, kind sir.
He looks at you intently for a while.
But since you refused to take such a hefty sum, perhaps you'd be interested in helping me out. You see, I think I might have an idea on how to double, triple, or even quadruple my earnings. All I'd need is a tiny investment. I think I'd need around 5,000 coins to expand.
Before you have a chance to react, he waves his hand and continues.
No, don't worry. Doesn't have to be paid all at once. It can be an ongoing investment, but it's going to be worth it. I promise. How much would you like to invest? The investment is going to be worth it, I promise.
music, joyful melodies at that. They sound weirdly inappropriate, drifting through the inscrutable darkness. Then, the source of the sound appears.
Oh, a traveller. Come on, sing with me.
There are many instruments around, all made from materials at hand. Most have been crafted from sticks and bushes, but you can also see some monstrous body parts here and there.
Singing is the only thing that will get us through these strange times, don't you agree? Sing with me. You aren't all that bright, are you? My music once filled the halls of... Wait, what was the name of that king? You know, the tall one. Arthur? Yes, grumpy one, didn't like jokes, but he paid well.
He starts to dance again, clapping on his belly like a drum.
Speaking of paying, Master Stranger, do you have any coins to spare? If you do, I might teach you a song or two.
Wandering around, you notice that the plants on the ground around you are more like muscle tissue than typical vegetation. Then you notice an old man smiling at you in a disturbingly friendly manner. He's sitting near an enormous pool of blood and stacks of fancy bouquets made of body parts. Hands, hearts, testicles, arms, all held together by an unknown power, form the shape of a sunflower. Your horrified eyes pass over baubles made of kidneys and macabre flowers tied neatly with intestine ribbons.
Come, don't be afraid. I suppose some might consider my shop rather extravagant, but trust me, you won't find anything quite like my bouquets in these woods. So, what do you have for me today?
He notices a question forming on your lips.
Oh, pity. I thought you came here with my delivery. Well, that's an inconvenience. Anyway, you can still take a look at my wares. A splendid choice. I guarantee you won't regret it. These were preserved with care and the expertise of my years of experience, so they should last for quite a while.
The man's joy quickly turns to sadness. With teary eyes, he continues,
Yes, this bouquet would have been a perfect gift for a special lady, one that's dear to your heart, if only.
He sobs for a while. Then, with a shaky voice, he explains,
Bouquets have a purpose. They were invented for a reason. But that purpose has disappeared from this world. Nobody needs them anymore. Everyone says there are more important matters at hand. We just don't live in the right times for vanity and joy. And that's what bouquets are all about, right?
He tries to collect himself.
But I won't give up. I need to believe that all is not lost. And I do have a favor to ask of you. There is a lady out there, the fairest maiden of them all. I've only seen her once, true, but I know that she's the one for me. There's no doubt in my mind. Her presence by my side is all I dream about. Her beauty is all I can see. Please, I beg you, take the bouquet. When you meet her, the love of my life, she's bound to notice that it was made especially for her. Let her know that there's someone in this world who won't ever stop dreaming about her.
The investment is going to be worth it, I promise.
The sound of clattering rocks disturbs the ubiquitous silence. Approaching the end of a path, you come upon a child playing with some oddly shaped stones.
I'm Futhark. I'm waiting here for my mother. She's been gone for a while now. Or maybe she's going to leave soon? I have a lot of these stones, and while I wait, I play. Do you want some stones so you can play while you wait too?
He holds one weapon in his hand and has one weapon on his back. This strikes you as a bit excessive, unless he's a traveling weaponsmith. The blood covering his leather jerkin is not his own. It seems he can take care of himself.
Before you get any stupid ideas, I used to be a master-at-arms at Halfway. Trained many young warriors there. If you've gold to spare, I could teach you a thing or two.